Hey.
Hey, this is Hampton. Is this T. Antonio?
Yeah, hey Hampton, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
Sorry, what's your first name?
My first name is actually just the letter T. It's just the letter
Okay.
T, my last name is Antonio. I know it's kind of weird.
Okay, so do you go by T?
Yeah, I just go by T.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, well, tell me a little bit about yourself, Hampton, and what you're looking to achieve, and then I'll basically tell you anything I possibly can about what you need to do to get there.
Awesome. So yeah, so I'm a student at North Carolina State University. I'm a sophomore here.
Okay.
Studying mechanical engineering with pursuing minors in Arabic and computer science.
Did you say in Arabic?
Originally from Chad. Yes, pursuing minor in Arabic. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay.
So, yeah, Arabic, yep. So, originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee, but came here because I got a really good scholarship, and NC State has a very good engineering program. But specifically what I was messaging you about is I'm trying to start a wash and fold business for NC State students, so we do your laundry.
Yep.
But I've also, I consume basically everything Gary Vee puts out. So, and I know he talks a lot about the power of Facebook ads, and he also talks about providing value and just offering to work for free.
Yep.
And so I thought of I want to start getting into Facebook ads and doing this for businesses, both as hopefully I can start to maybe make some money off of it if I actually get experience and I'm able to, charge something. So as a way to provide money for my business as I'm still trying to invest and grow it, but then also just to gain experience with Facebook ads.
With ads, yep.
That's kind of my goal is just to start getting into social media marketing and learning more about what Gary Vee talks a lot about and gaining experience for my business, but also maybe trying to get some money for my business.
Do you have clients already for the wash and fold?
So, no, I don't. So right now I'm trying to a lot of what I've done in terms of research is I see that college wash and folds that they sell semester or year-long packages. And so what I'm doing is laying down the groundwork that I need. So building relationships with cleaners and getting a logo and a website done so I can have a push for this upcoming semester. So right now I'm not even trying to get sales. Obviously I talk it up as much as I can, but right now I'm focusing on getting my website done, getting a logo done, making sure I have an established relationship with a cleaner, and starting to do some testing with, just working out the kinks with all the logistics of it and make sure it's a ready product for next semester, if that makes sense. Yeah,
I'm wondering if there's any stuff you can do for free or even for yourself, treat yourself as your first client and put your own stuff through. I'm assuming you're already putting your own stuff through this service that you've... I actually haven't, not yet. Okay. So I'm still basically calling as many cleaners as I can, getting quotes, and if I feel like they're at a competitive rate, then I'll go visit their facilities. Okay. And then, but yeah, that's a great. And as I said, I want to start doing some testing. My laundry's starting to build up. So this upcoming weekend, I'm going to take my clothes to one of the cleaners that I think I would want to work with, and that's a great idea of just starting and just doing more testing, because I feel like that's going to lead me to success. It might be a little early for ads, just for the reason that you're not already you're not already operating yet. And I mean, it might be if I was in your position, what I would be doing. Do you have housing at the school? Are you in the dorms?
Yes, I live in the dorms. Yep.
As soon as you get your stuff going through the process, I mean, this is going to cost you some. So, I mean, you might have to have a little bit, or work a few extra hours to make the money to do the laundry. But do your own stuff and then literally go around the dorm and knock on your friends' doors, the ones that you actually like, and be like, hey, look, I'm testing out this process. I need 10 people to just do their laundry, put through the process. You get clean laundry. That's the deal. You know what I mean? Don't charge them for anything.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff I think you'll learn the most from before you need a logo or a Facebook page or anything like that. is just like
Gotcha.
get your hands dirty as soon as possible with what the actual job is.
Work is?
Yeah,
Okay.
what the actual work itself is. Everything comes secondary to that. Online presence, all that stuff comes secondary to actually having something. And don't even worry about making it perfect. They're not paying anyway, so you don't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? Just don't ruin their clothes.
Yeah,
of course. But
that's what I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to find a cleaner who's not going to do that, but they're at a competitive rate. Because I just went to a cleaner. They're offering $1 a pound, which is really cheap for wash and fold. But then I was like, "Do you separate white and darks?" And they're like, "Yeah, sometimes." And so like that did not make me feel confident at all.
Why not? Why race to the bottom with price? Why not go for a higher price, higher tier service?
Sure. Yeah. So because for margins, so that I can actually make some profit. I'm not out here trying to. I can only make so much money with this business, but like that's what I'm trying to balance. Is like making sure that I will be able to make some money at least. I guess that's. I'm not looking. Yeah, obviously I want service to come first, but like I don't want to go to the like some people are charging $3 a pound, and it's like that would put me straight in debt. But
yeah, you're not going to make any money doing that.
Point.
I'm just gonna throw out some. I'm gonna throw you some ideas of ways to think about this, just because the race to the bottom pricing is something that concerns me.
Sure.
So you said $3 a pound would basically be doing it at cost for you. That would be a wash. No pun intended. That would be a wash, right?
Wash as in like that would not work.
After your expenses.
I'm not familiar with that term.
Oh, after your expenses and your time. Basically, whatever it cost you to do the laundry, you're gonna end up at a net zero for what they pay. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that would actually put. If I did $3 a pound, that would put me below net.
You'd be losing money.
I would be losing money, but like there's other places that are like $1.80. So there's in this market, there's actually not like a standard market price. I'm beginning to find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think about, it's not a bad strategy, just throwing out ideas of what you should be thinking about and testing. And this is why you want to have like those first 10 clients, is so you can test all these different methods and ask them, hey, if I did this, what would you think? If I did that, what would you think? What I would probably do is, because of the race to the bottom pricing that's out there, and it sounds like there's a bunch of services that you're going to be competing with on price.
Yeah.
I would say figure out what. This is just one idea. This isn't the end all be all. Figure out what the price is that you would break even, your break even point, and then do it at break even. So you're not losing money or gaining money. Do it at break even for a while until you learn what little pockets of value you can add for these people. Maybe you if it's a folding service, maybe you fold a certain way, or maybe you deliver it and actually put it away for them or something. Like, what little upsells can you use to widen your margin after your with the cost itself, the entry level cost being at cost. Like, don't worry about you're not going to make a bank, by having worked out your margins from the beginning. So you may as well just do it at a cost for a little while until you can figure out what's going to make someone pay an extra couple of bucks a pound that no one else is doing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Maybe it's
that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe it's like people, not to get too technological, or people you can do like pick up by email or something like that, which maybe is, or by text. Text would be even better. Stuff like that little conveniences that it's going to make it sticky, so people don't want to swap over just to save $1 a pound or something.
Sure.
Figure out the pricing later. And actually, I don't run a business right now, but I just finished a startup, and we raised the price on the product 3 times over the course of 3 years. So it ended up being, it started at $15 and it ended at $25 for basically for the same product. So pricing is something that you can always figure out later.
Okay.
And you should be testing that. As far as the Facebook ad stuff, I can get into that a little bit with you if you want to learn kind of the basics of it, or just have an idea? How much do you know about Facebook ads?
That's what. Well, I guess just to give a little more context, I guess like I wanted to also kind of just like start to do like what you offer on your Instagram page. So like just contact local businesses, and like I just like even like completely separate from Wolf Wash, like just to like gain, like I'm just out here in college, I want to gain experience as much as I can.
Yeah.
So, like this is even something separate from Wolf Wash. Sorry, that's the name of my business is Wolf Wash.
Yep.
But yeah, so what I know about Facebook ads is I know that you can. I know the very basics, so that you can target specific groups. You can target vendor or interested in this topic or in this location.
Yep.
And what I hear is that it's very, at least I watched one of your videos actually, so like it's very cheap. You like to go in with engagement. It's very cheap to get engagement on Facebook ads.
Very cheap, yeah. By comparison to Google Ads, I spent about $3,000 on Google Ads, AdWords, and I didn't even get even close to the traction I got on Facebook. It was like a no-brainer. I still don't know why Facebook ads are so cheap. I can't explain it. They just are.
Yeah.
I don't expect they'll always be that way, so I don't blame you for wanting to take advantage of it right now.
Yeah.
All right, so basics on Facebook ads. So the campaign is the top level kind of item that you create, and the campaign is like it's an ad campaign. It's meant to be the top level. Think of it like an onion. It's one of those things where you peel back. Ads are like where you peel back layers. The campaign is the outer layer. It just contains the date range that you want to be running the ad, the name of the name of the campaign itself, and really it just determines like what account or what page you're running the ad on, and that's really it. And then within that, there's something called an ad set. And the ad set is an ad set. And so within a campaign, one campaign can have many ad sets. And the ad set is exactly what you described. It's that targeting system that you can use for you and for your business. You will want to be targeting obviously the geography of your school. I'm guessing that's your core customer.
Yep, that's right.
You can also target pages of things that people have liked. So people who have liked your school, for example, might be a really good way to maybe branch out a little bit from the actual hard geography of the town or the city, or people. So you can, I can go over all the different targeting stuff, especially when you're ready and you're creating your campaign, like you're actually up and running. I could literally just like screen share with you and we can go through it, which would be fun to do.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'd love to do that later on.
Yeah, so that's the ad set. One campaign can have many ad sets, and it's a pretty deep dive into what ad sets do, but basically it's a targeting system. And then within a single ad set, there's a third thing called an ad. That's the actual ad. That's the display. It's called a creative. But because you have to be creative to make it, you know, it's the image or the video that you've created for the ad and the text that you've created. So it's the top level campaign, then the ad set, which tells it where to display it, and then the ad tells what to display. And that's the basis of all of Facebook ads. The system that you use to create all of this is called Ads Manager. It's an administrative screen. You get to it from your Facebook page. You just it's on the top right corner, the little drop down, and you want to click. I think the button is, it's either called Ads Manager or like create an ad or something, and it'll open Ads Manager, and that's how you get into it. That's cool. That's the super basics of it. Do you have any quick questions? I can talk about budgeting and stuff like that real quick as well. I can hit on that. Do you have any other questions that are jumping out right now?
Well, yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about, because like I want to approach a business just like you are, or actually like offering, like, you know, willing to work for free. Like how do you find these businesses? How do you do you have like an email that like a kind of like a stock email that you would send someone to, or DM them or something like that to actually do that? And then like, you know, I'm not that great of like a writer, and I have zero experience with like creating videos, and like, so I'm not sure if this is even like, you know, something I should get into with like trying to do Facebook ads for free for businesses. Like, I just want to hear about like kind of like what you're doing with
how to do that. Yeah, I can tell you exactly how to do that. Okay, so what you want to do is, let's just assume you're using Instagram. You can kind of follow the same process on Facebook too, but we'll just assume you're using Instagram. Depending on what kind of businesses you want to help, you can either pick like your top 10 favorite businesses, small businesses, locally, like just places you like, or you can target like a specific industry using a hashtag, you know, like hashtag, I don't know, beachwear or something, you know, something random. And then you want to go and click on all the photos under that hashtag and find out which ones are posted by businesses. You could just literally click on the profiles, read their profile, look at the rest of their posts, and you can and see if they have a website. If they have a website, take a look at the website. See if it's crappy. See if their Instagram profile is kind of crappy. If their bio's like not good. And then once if it's good, if they're doing their jobs well, then pass on them. But if there's room to like improve all that stuff, you want to DM them, you know, hit the triple dots at the top right corner, send them a message, and then just say like, hey, I like what you guys are doing, and I'm working on Facebook ads. You can kind of fib a little bit here and say like, I'm really good at them, or I'm learning how to get really good at them. I'd like to help you guys out, and I think I can make your profile skyrocket, or I think, you know, I think once I'm done, you guys will be really happy with it. Let me know if you need some help. And then if they reply back, or sit down for like 2 hours a day and do this like a lot. Send this message to a lot of people, a lot of businesses. And a few of them will reply and make it clear if some of them might wonder like, you know, like how much or something like that. And you just be like, no, right now I'm just learning. I'm not charging people. But I'd really like to, you know, get into this and start the conversation from there. It helps if you have a little bit of content out there, but because they're gonna ask like, okay, what type of thing? So you might have to like write up a little bit of what you have in mind, unless you have like a video on YouTube. You can send them and say, hey, look, this is what I'm working on, like a tutorial or something.
Gotcha.
That's how you can generate that kind of interest to begin with.
Cool. Yeah, so like if I'm at this, so like when you help businesses, like what kind of content do you usually create for them? Do you usually just like write articles, or like, you know, like top 5 hints or something like that, or are you like creating videos? Like what kind of content do you create for them?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of video on Facebook ads. I think it's a little it's overpriced by comparison to how cheap pictures are. Videos still aren't expensive. Like videos are still cheaper on Facebook than they are on YouTube, for example. But if they're dying for video, that's fine. But I find pictures to be the best value, the best bang for your buck, and you can say a lot in a picture. You know what I mean? That you're only gonna get a couple of seconds of their attention anyway, so whether it's a video or picture, I feel like it doesn't matter that much. What I do is either, if they have good pictures on their Instagram, just snag one of those photos, like a really good one. If it's eye-catching, if it's got really cool Instagram photo filters and stuff like that that pop. You don't want like super dark colors or anything, but like bright, like you know, like the Heffy filter or stuff like that, where it's like brighter and bolder and high contrast. We had a lot of success with those kind of artsy photos of products. Like people don't care if it's of the product. People care if the photo looks cool. That's it. And this is something I'm gonna make a video on in the future. This is probably gonna be like one of the videos in the next couple of weeks, but it's how to create a Facebook funnel. But I'll go over it with you just like in brief today. So your only goal with this ad is to get people to like it. And there's a reason why you don't care about anything after that. Like if they go and like your page, that's fine. Most of them won't. But you're trying to collect as many likes on this image as possible. And the reason why is from that point forward, you have like a relationship with these people. You can message them, you can ask them to like your page, you can engage with them in all sorts of different ways. You can ask them to tag other people in the post to say, like, something we used to do a lot would be like, I worked in the gaming industry, so we would be like, tag the biggest noob you know. And people, and this is on an ad, but people would spread the word organically because they were just making fun of their friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it would be like a goofy picture of our product, like someone not knowing how to use it. You know what I mean? Like that, you know, the picture kind of coincides with it. I would generate all of the images on my phone using different photo apps. There's just a million of them, and you can make a really good photo for an ad on your phone in 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
So
do you just like, what, like, do you have experience with like photography? Or are you doing like professional photography, or are you just taking pictures with your iPhone?
Just with the iPhone. Just honestly, the quality of the photos doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is if it like
editing that you do on your phone.
Yeah, like adding filters. If I want to add a little bit of text, I use an app called Fonto with a PH. It's the best app for adding text on on top of a picture. So download Fonto. That's free.
PHONTO.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I just like and use Snapseed, and literally just use Snapseed into the ground until the photo is like crazy looking, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
But you can still see like what is the story it's trying to tell? Is it trying to like be goofy? Is it trying to make a joke? Is it just trying to look really cool and interesting and artsy? But the quality of it, like, I don't whip out a DSLR camera to take these photos. Like, that doesn't matter. No one cares about that.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, cool.
So yeah, that's all.
So you like to do pictures primarily?
Yeah, I don't do any text, and I did some videos on Facebook, but none of them, like, I guess I just haven't figured out how to make those pop the same way I've figured out photos.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it this way.
Okay.
Think of it. I mean, this is a good way to pose it to these businesses that are like on the border. You can say, I'm pretty confident I can get a penny per engagement, which is cheap. I mean, think about that. Every dollar is 100 people clicking like. An engagement is basically a like on Facebook. So you're going to say a penny per like, which is pretty achievable with any decently good ad. You can get a penny per, maybe 2 pennies per like, if it's a so-so ad. And then say, all right, look at that. That's 50 to 100 potential customers, and you paid $1. And now it's 50 to 100 people you can message and say, hey, look, like, this is what we do. What do you think of it? Or, you know, like, here's the problem we solve. Have you ever had this issue? This is 50 to 100 people you can message now. And if a single one of those converts, you just paid $1 for a customer. Which is ridiculous, right?
Cheap, right?
And that is why Facebook ads is stupidly cheap. Like, that's the summary of it.
Gotcha. So in terms of customer acquisition, sorry, I don't know nothing about customer acquisition.
That's cool.
But $1 per customer is pretty cheap, right?
$1 per customer is stupid cheap. Yeah.
Okay.
In my business, I paid about $23 per customer on average.
Wow.
So yeah. So $1, if we can get $1 per customer, we are happy as hell.
Okay.
But that's pretty simple math. I mean, just take the price of the product, or, I mean, these businesses should know the value of a lifetime customer. They really should know that. But many of them, small businesses, don't know that number.
Okay.
But you could just say, all right, your product costs $50. Really, if your product costs $50, it's not all that horrible to pay $50 for a customer. You're going to take a loss. You're going to eat some cash in the upfront, but then you've got a customer that's probably, if you can get good at recurring your customers, you can get them coming back for more stuff, and you'll be in the black pretty quickly. Like within a year, you'll be in the black with like majority of your customers, and then you're winning.
Sure.
So don't be afraid to be like, you know, I mean, this is just, I guess, advice for business in general. Like, don't be afraid to pay what seems like major ridiculous money for a customer, if that customer is really that valuable.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
Cool.
that's
So like what? I also there's a Zaxby. Do you know Zaxby?
Zaxby. I do, but I don't remember what it is. I remember the name.
It's just a fast food chicken
Okay.
restaurant, but like
Yeah, I had some in Atlanta actually. That's where I'm remembering. It's in it. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, there is the reason I'm asking is because there's a Zaxby's opening really close to my dorm, and I actually met them. Zaxby's is a franchise model, so I met the franchisee, and so I have his contact info, and I thought of trying to meet up with them and just kind of say I'd be interested in doing ads for y'all on Facebook. But do you know if he's Zaxby's is a big company, so he already might have that support, and that might just be stupid for me to ask.
No, it's not stupid. Do it.
Able to do Facebook ads for him.
Do it and tell him this. Say, hey, look, I want to set up some Facebook ads for you. Literally, give me $100 budget, and if you're not happy with it, then I'll eat the cost. And you have nothing to lose after that. You know what I mean? Take a little risk here, but I think that if you build that kind of a relationship with them and be I want to do some really progressive advertising on Facebook. Facebook is popping. I'm guessing you're not taking advantage of this. You really should be. The franchisee is totally approachable. Don't worry about whether he or she's already doing this stuff or not, because they're probably not.
Yeah.
They probably have nothing to lose and everything to gain from it. So, yeah, I would jump on that.
Okay. Wait, so are you saying that if he would give me the budget, and then if it doesn't work out I would just pay him back the dollars from my own account?
Yeah, just be hey, it would kind of be an a-hole move on his part to be yeah, you owe me $100 now. You know what I mean? The likelihood of that actually happening is pretty low, but the comfort that that's going to give the person, whether it's this Zaxby's person or someone else, this kind of money back guarantee, literally I'm not going to screw you one way or the other. That comfort is going to make them much closer to a yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Sorry, I just have to be careful because with my money, because I'm trying to build my business, and
I hear you.
I don't have a full-time job. So I don't even have a part-time job, so.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, I mean, it's a bit of a risk, but you are you're banking on the fact that someone's not going to be that someone's not going to actually call you on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're working hard for them and you're really active, I think that would, it's everyone pretty much understands that would be a ridiculous thing to do, is to be this person worked so hard and now I want the 100. It's almost, for a business owner, $100 is a frivolous amount of money anyway.
That's nothing.
So
yeah,
you're probably fine if you don't want to do it. I mean, you don't have to do that if they seem like they're gung-ho for it anyway. But that's if they're on the border and you really want to do this. That's a good way to close it.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. So what, how do the specifics work out with, does he just give me access to, their Facebook page, or, how do, and the money, how does that, if he were to...
That's a great question.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely do know what you're saying. Okay, so, yeah, this is a really good detailed question. So, the way that Facebook pages work is that there's a page owner, and that will be them. They own the Facebook page for Zaxby's. What town roughly are you in, or what town is this place going to be in?
I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh, okay. So Zaxby's Raleigh is going to have a Facebook page, I'm assuming. You would want to investigate that first to see if they have a Facebook page, to see if they have an Instagram page.
Sure.
That's specific for the location. Then that page, who's let's say the franchise owner is also, every page is tied to a Facebook account, an actual personal account. So so let's say the owner's Facebook, his actual Facebook itself is the owner of that page. So then he has the full administrative control of that page, but he can add other people to that page as administrators, and it can actually break down into types of administrators from like allow this person to post to allow this person to manage the marketing and ad side of it. So he would only have to give you access to the page as an administrator for the ads.
Okay.
And he's gonna actually, you have to be friends with him on Facebook, personal friends.
Okay.
And that's when you'll appear on the list for him to add you as a marketing administrator.
Okay.
To the page. And then from that point forward, on your Facebook, when you drop down in the top right arrow, you'll have the page to choose from. You'll have the Zaxby's Rollinsford page. You click on that and you can actually get into the ads portion of it. You can't administrate it anywhere else. Like you won't be able to delete posts or anything. You know what I mean? But but you'll be able to manage the ads. Now he also has to manage the billing side of it, which is a separate part of the ads. And the way that billing works is you set a break point. So let's say $300 or $100. It could be whatever. So so you what you do is it's for all of the ads. You say we'll stick with $100 just for sake of ease. We'll say the account limit is $100. Whatever the ads you set up within that account, you could set it up to run $10 a day, whatever. All those ads are going to be varying depending on the spend of each ad is going to vary depending on the audience, depending on the time range, and depending on the budget. But overall, the account is only going to allow $100 to be spent. And when $100 is spent, everything gets cut off.
Okay.
Until someone goes in and resets that $100. And so that's how you keep it from getting out of control. That's how you can guarantee you won't overspend.
Yeah.
Is to make sure that budget on the billing side is set at 100 or whatever they want it to be set at.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Well, I think that's all the questions I have on my end. But yeah, thanks for all the advice, and hopefully I'm providing some good content for your
I'm excited. I'm like super excited to make the podcast now. I'm rendering a different video right now. I'm rendering a video about how to make the triple, you know, on my Instagram stories, how I do the triple videos with the text in between. I'm rendering the how-to tutorial for that.
Oh, awesome.
So as soon as that's done, I'll probably start working on this video, and this will be out as a podcast on my YouTube channel and also as a podcast on a podcast platform that I use. And I'll let you know, I'll link you when it's done so you can actually see what the finished product looks like. But yeah, I gotta thank you for letting me make the content too. It's freaking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wait, so how did you learn about Gary Vee and start getting into it?
I've known about Gary Vee for a couple of years just because I've had a bunch of other entrepreneurs that I've kind of used as, I don't know, inspiration is such a cheese thing, but like I've used as like trying to like doing what you're doing, like gaining knowledge from. And I honestly, I always found Gary to be abrasive. And so I didn't watch much of his content for years. And then I think recently, as I just wound down my first startup, it's like in a sustaining mode. I'm not growing it anymore. And so I don't know why I popped into one of his videos, but he was just like throwing down some real shit. And I was just at a moment where I was willing to stop and think about it. And I think I've jumped pretty deep down the rabbit hole since then. So I was aware of him, but I wasn't buying what he was selling for a while.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of a believer. Okay. I think he's the real deal. I think he's better than like the Tai Lopez's of the world. And what's the other guy? There's a couple other.
It's the guy. He had the biggest YouTube campaign ever.
Yeah, like the Southern kind of guy.
Like the salesman guy.
Yeah. Oh, the one with the sunglasses. Are you talking about?
I'm talking. He's like
Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone's who I'm thinking of.
Yes, Grant Cardone.
Yeah. I've seen Tai Lopez all over from originally when he did this Here in My Garage stuff, and then Grant Cardone I've just recently been looking at, and I don't think anyone could even touch Gary's level. I think he's on a different level.
Yeah. Okay. I just YouTubed like Grant Cardone versus Gary Vaynerchuk because I want to see them like throw down. And there's this YouTube video that says watch Gary Vaynerchuk put Grant Cardone in his place, and I want to watch it.
I think I know that Gary and Ty are somewhat like coincide friends. They're not like enemies or anything. I'm assuming that that's a clickbait video, but maybe that's some content you can make down the road as a reaction to that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Anyway, yeah, so that's how I got into Gary's stuff, and then now, you know, now that my startup is done, from a creative standpoint, I'm just enjoying making the content. I just freaking love doing it.
Yeah. Wait, so now, well, I mean, you're doing all this, like, the videos that I've been seeing, so, like, are you still, like, working for that company that, like, that you started up, or, like, what are you doing, like, for full time to, like, pay the bills?
Technically, I'm well, not technically. Yes, the business is still running, the business still makes money. It doesn't make, like, a killing. It makes enough to pay the bills, but I am job hunting to go work at another startup. You know, personally, I want to work at a startup that I can learn how to scale a business. Basically,
Sure.
I would look at this as the equivalent of taking a gap year between high school and college. For me, that's how I feel. I feel like I just went through the high school of startups, and I want to learn some for a year and then dive back deep into another startup, probably a tech startup.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. And in the meantime, I'm working on passion projects and creating cool shit.
Awesome.
And hopefully sharing some of the stuff I learned from my first business with the world, because I don't know, it's when you're in the weeds with a business, you want to like keep all these trade secrets. It's a really bad habit, but I don't really have to worry about that now. So I may as well just be like, here's how I did all this stuff, you know?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Would you mind if we keep in touch? You know, looking for more advice, or would you like if I you know get this guy a vaccine to let me, you know, try something? Would you be willing to maybe help me out with some of the specifics and figuring it out?
Yep. If you can close any of these people to allow you to get into their page and do ads for them, with or without me creating content, I don't care. I will get in there, screen share with you, and help you set it up. Don't tell them that you've got someone doing that.
Sure.
Though. Make sure you do it on your own merit. But I will. Yeah. I'll be in the background if you need help. I'll kind of come in and guide you through it.
Okay. I really appreciate that.
That's cool. I'm really glad to help. It feels good to just be helpful to someone.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, T.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the podcast. I had so much fun. Thanks again to Hampton for being such a good sport and letting me record this thing for the podcast. Subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And if you want to see more of this, I have already recorded the next episode, so that it's happening again, whether you like it or not. But let me know if you do like it. And yeah, if you got ideas for more videos, also hit me up in the comments, and I will reply to all of you. So that's all I got for you today. Goodbye.